What's up, everybody? We are back with the third installment in our series of solo runs in yet another Zombie Survivors. Today we are doing the medic, which you would think is probably going to be the worst performing of all the survivors, considering that she has very little offense to provide. I mean, she has no offensive skills. She literally only has her primary weapon. Because she's built more, as we know, to be a support character. I mean, she's really, really helpful. I mean, she's a big part of the game when playing with 2- and 3-person squads. But solo, not so much. But to be fair, I've never, really sat down and been like, what's the best I can do with the medic, I've never really experimented trying to get far in a solo run with the medic, which is kind of why I'm doing all these videos, all these runs, to give me an idea of how well they all perform. So what I'm getting at is maybe she does okay, because we're going to have crazy health regen, which leads me to our quote-unquote build, I guess. Because our skills, are not really part of our build, because as with any solo run, we should be able to get every skill, max out everything. If we don't, that's really a failure, I would say. So we're going to get all of them. We're going to get Transplantology, PhD, Stimpack. I believe we're going to go with the freezing flask. I've given it some thought. I'm curious to experiment with the antidote flask, but the freezing flask has just performed so well in... These are not what we want. Because we have no offensive skills, so we don't want to go cooldown. That's not important to us. We definitely... The heavy metal... No. Let's take luck, because the teddy bear, as we've seen in the last two videos, is pretty important. But as I was saying a moment ago, the freezing flask has worked really well with squads, because it just helps with survivability. It just keeps them at a distance, and it doesn't so much do damage, but it allows you to avoid damage. It can freeze a lot of those boss zombies and just buy you time, because the idea of the game is not to kill as many zombies as you can. The idea of the game is to last as long as you can, right? So it doesn't matter if I kill the zombies. So maybe it doesn't matter if I have offensive abilities. Maybe all that matters is if they can't kill me. The antidote flask is not going to buy me any more time. It's just going to do damage. And not that much, to be honest. I have not been impressed with the antidote flask. So that's probably something I'll have to experiment with in the future. So as far as our build goes, as far as our strategy, it's all going to rely on the pickups that we get. And the only one we've gotten so far was the teddy bear, but the teddy bear is pretty good because the teddy bear gives you the +10 luck, which helps with pickups like health pickups, stone skin, the killing frenzy, things like that. So we will definitely take the max health, because we're already gonna have such incredible health regen that we can take losing the 2 health regen per second. Considering, I don't know, what do we have with a fully upgraded PhD? I think is it 50 or 55 health regen per second? Pretty crazy. Yeah, see, currently it's 18, right? Is it the same over there? Yeah. I don't know why I thought it'd be different, but you never know. Because the stats they show you in those weapon boxes are like your actual numbers. So if it shows like this has a current cooldown of 10 seconds, that's taking into account all of the upgrades you have, whether it be like a leader perk or like a pickup or something that you've got. So As you can see, though, we're not killing anybody. We're 3 minutes in, and look how overwhelmed we are. Crazy, right? Look how little damage the freezing flask does. So it's literally only freezing. I still think it was the better alternative, though. Now, I actually don't remember how far we got in the engineer video, because we've only done the engineer and the huntress so far. But I think with the engineer, I want to say we got to 25 minutes, somewhere around there. Definitely got further than we did with the huntress, which was like 22 minutes. So if we can get to 20 minutes with the medic, I would be happy, maybe a little surprised. Oh shit. I think, as I've mentioned a few times, what's really going to make this a build is what we choose here with the pickups. We could continue to stack that max health, and that might help with our survivability. I think we will do that. That's not something that I had considered doing before the run started, but I think that it could be really helpful now that I think about it. Because we are going for survivability, right? And we are going for health regen. Well, we're not necessarily going for health regen as much as we are going to get health regen, because we are the medic. And if, you know, more health, that we will probably be able to regen to that limit often. That'll give us a cushion to survive some bigger blows, possibly. So I don't know how much stimpack is going to help us. I guess it's... I'm not a big fan of the running faster, the movement speed. I feel like at a certain point you're just running faster into danger. But that being said, I mean, as you can see right here, the only thing that's going to eventually kill me is when I can no longer outrun them. So movement speed might not be useless for this run. 'Cause usually I feel like movement speed just like sends you into danger too quickly, you know? That's when it's more chaotic though, and there's more zombies on the screen, and you got 3 people in your squad, so your hitbox is bigger. So you see that our health dropped down to 1240, and like that. Back up. So there's another max health. As I said, that's not what I was thinking about going for, but that's what we will go for. I was thinking about beforehand, I wanted more health regen. I just wanted to stack that up and just make me harder to kill. But max health will do that too. I was considering going for things that increase fire rate and weapon damage, just to maybe enable me to do some damage. But as you can see here, I think that's a lost cause. Like, I don't think I'm gonna take anybody out. These do such little damage, even with critical hits. So it looks like without a critical hit, it's doing like what, 50 or something like that. Look how slow she still throws with the killing frenzy. Ooh, I'm about to take some damage here. It's interesting though, because this is definitely, I think, that doesn't really make sense. This is definitely the hardest survivor in the game to balance. At least that's what I think. Because she has such powerful health regen abilities that, you know, if you give her too much offense, she becomes clearly like the best, you know. So she has to have this very unique support style offense. So to be honest, I think they've done a really good job with her. I do hope the next skill she gets is something offensive, though. It wouldn't have to be anything super powerful. I mean, it could be like one of the weaker offensive skills, but just something might be good. I don't really know what it would be, but the congratulations letter, I don't think we need that. I don't think we need any of those. Oh, you know what? We should be banishing. So let's banish the XP modifier. We'll reroll again. Banish It's not going to be worth it to get the congratulations letter. We won't need it, so we'll banish that. And we'll take the axe. No, we won't. We're going to take other frozen hearts. Like I said, 10%, you would think 10% weapon damage would be nice because we have such little lethality against the horde here. But I'm thinking that it's like 10% wasted, you know? I mean, is it really going to make my freezing flasks a viable killing threat? I don't think so. So I might as well not waste the upgrade. Get something that we could really use. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I will take it when we don't have any rerolls, and like if that's there, you know, over some other stuff. But I think max health regen. Freezing flask actually kind of helped me there. I think would I maybe have died there? 3 charges from those guys? I don't know. Crazy that it's this tense at 8.5 minutes. So perhaps the medic is not going to shock us all and be the best solo survivor. That is the specific reason I had her last when I made that tier list video. It's one of the first things I did for this game, was make tier lists for everything. The survivors, the weapons, the skills, and I had her at dead last for survivors, just for the fact that she can't solo. Yeah, max health, might as well. I mean, we might have got something we would want more, but we only have 1 reroll left, so if there's something like that there, we'll take it. Because now we've chosen that 3 times, so it's gone, it's off the board. Ooh. I need some movement skills here. So now that that's off the board, that's one more thing that's not going to appear. A little more likely that we'll get some health regen. I don't even know, to be honest with you, what we would want other than the health regen. The skill cooldown, I mean, is going to help with transplantology and the stimpack, so I guess it's not useless. We could get another frozen heart, so that would also give us more max health. Which we have 1800. 1800 solo is pretty nuts, actually. I mean, you can literally have 3 survivors and have less than that. And you get a health bonus for the second 2. So that is pretty crazy. I haven't had anything remotely like that in any of these solo runs. So that's interesting. I'm kind of glad that we ended up getting that RNG wise. Maybe that'll help. Well, I guess it doesn't help much, right? As I said before, we got everything. Yeah, we got everything upgraded before 10 minutes. So probably not worth it. You need to remember, not worth it to get that killing frenzy, because if you get 3 of them, that wouldn't be much of a frenzy. So we might as well stack the lifesteal. Though, yeah, we're going to stack the lifesteal. Though the critical chance is actually interesting. Like, I think far more interesting than the 10% weapon damage. Because we got a couple of those slingshots. We had like 30% critical. You can see, well, actually the critical itself now is even pitiful. Look at that. There's a couple like 300s though. So I don't know. Maybe that would be something. But as I said before, I think actually movement speed, if we can get a movement speed upgrade, which I think is the coffee cup, that might actually be helpful. Because that seems to be very helpful right now. In fact, when I go for my next like personal best, like with a 3-person squad, I'm gonna remember the value of movement speed here when it comes to freezing people. Although at 35-40 minutes, like I said, it's so much chaos. It's I don't know if the running would help, but it might. It might. Something I'll have to try out, I guess. Yeah, the movement speed is definitely helpful. Ooh, let's make sure we get this crate before it's overwhelmed by the horde. No. Well, let's banish the potato while we can. Ooh, health regen. We will take that. The downside of that health regen, I guess if you want to look at it in a negative light, is that it really just makes up for the frozen hearts that we've got and might still get. But that's alright. I mean, it completely nullifies the negative effects of that, and we still get the total health bonus, so. Yeah, the more that I think about it, I'm hoping now that maybe we get another frozen heart, and we get some of those coffee cups. Yes, I know I held up 3 fingers and said 2 things. There is no third thing. The slingshot? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe something I'm not thinking of. Already on the fly, we've developed what I think to be a better strategy than what I had, in my mind. Because I went into this thinking that I should get the axes for the weapon damage. But I see now that that would probably be just wasted. Unless you were somehow maybe able to dump everything into that, and you've got like a bunch of weapon damage, and you had like the critical chance and the critical damage. Maybe then you're doing a viable amount of damage. I don't know. I think you still gotta pick the freezing flask. Can you imagine if I wasn't slowing anybody down right now? I mean, I guess to be fair, we're at 13 minutes, and so the fast guys are the only guys really catching up to me. But still, you can see the value of the freezing flask over the ticking damage of the antidote. None of these are great. Wow. Alright. Critical chance, I guess. Yeah, that was 3 things that really are not gonna make much of an impact. I mean, the skill cooldown, I guess, like I said, but 5%, because the skill damage doesn't do anything. So I guess the 5% critical chance and damage. I almost chose the health, but yeah, we regained that much health in under a second, so. I'm kind of curious how good health regen is. I also don't want to see my health get low and have it be tested, but I am curious. I guess it's nothing I haven't seen before, right? When I've had the medic, fully leveled up with everything in a 3-man squad. It just, for some reason, feels more tense at 14 minutes. I'm kind of glad that I thought of making these solo videos, because if you've been playing this game and you haven't done something like this yet, it really does add an interesting wrinkle or challenge to the game. That's a lot of times I hate self-imposed challenges and stuff like that. I just like playing games the way they're designed to be played, but I feel like this is like part of it, right? I feel like maybe they'll add something like that at some point, like a solo game mode or something that keeps track of solo stats, So I don't know. Maybe that's an idea to leave in the feedback thing. All right, 15 minutes. So less than 5 minutes to go to 20. I think I said 20 minutes earlier. If I didn't get there, I would consider it a failure. So that's starting to look a lot more possible now. Literally at like 6 minutes, I was like, I don't know how much longer I have. No, I don't. 5% weapon damage. We'll take the rerolls to avoid things like that happening in the future, I guess. Kind of a pity. I think that's, what, 2 crates now that haven't really helped us. It would be really nice to get, like a health regen or something. Or the coffee cup. I think the coffee cup is the thing I want the most. Again, none of these things. Terrible. I'm gonna take the dodge chance, I guess. Save the other reroll. I mean, the dodge chance is not totally useless. So I think you start with... I'm actually not sure. I can't remember right now. Is it 10% when you have like the skill tree all the way upgraded? So now I have like 20% dodge chance. So it's like a 1 in 5. That if somebody hits me, it's not going to do any damage. Not a bad deal. I had definitely underrated the dodge chance before. I had a run once. I think I got to like 38 minutes, and I feel like it was mostly just because I had Ghost, and I had like a bunch of the dodge chance upgrades, and it was like 50%, maybe 60% dodge chance or something. It was crazy. And I feel like it was one of the big reasons I got farther in that run. Well, not to mention it was like a really good build. It was like Ghost and Tank and Medic, I think. I wonder how many of these zombies that we've actually killed at this point. I'm about to smash that one in the face. Man, I feel like we could double up on the dodge chance. We're at 17%. I would take dodge chance over these things. Well, you know what? 5% movement speed. And fire rate. I mean, I think that technically her flasks are... Yeah, they're affected by fire rate. So... It's not a useless thing to choose. Though it is a bummer. I think we have not been getting good crates here for a while. Though we haven't really been super threatened yet. Like right there, that was like the most dangerous it's been. Our health got down to like 15. Although I think a lot of times with these solo runs, it seems to be like once you're in danger, like once you're kind of like threatened and your health's going down, it's pretty much over. It's kind of hard to come back from. I guess that being said, if one of the survivors is going to be good at coming back from that, it's going to be the one that can regenerate all this health. So we shall see. We're at 18 minutes now. 18 minutes now, and we look like we got some time left in us. So guess we'll see. Dodged. There's that barrel roll. Getting a lot of money in these runs. Like really, really piling on the money. Whoa. Spread around our freezing flask a little bit. Make sure everybody gets a little taste. And like I said, I mean, these aren't the worst. Still, I think, like, I guess the problem I made was I mentioned the coffee cup. Or maybe that I just never chose it earlier. Because it did appear a couple times earlier. And I didn't pick it. Wow. Thought that would have damaged me a lot more. Yeah, that movement speed is definitely very helpful. At least in this build. Because you can, yeah, oh, see, look how fast those dudes are. That was like, I had like the movement upgrades. I had like the lightning bolt. And I think I may have even had it yet. Well, maybe I didn't have stimpack because I just got it. But those dudes are like catching up to me anyway. See that? Yeah, oh yeah, so he didn't care. That's worrisome. That could spell my downfall. If too many of those dudes, yeah, are just chipping away at me. I guess that's where the manual aiming that people want in the game would be helpful, because I could aim it at those dudes. And to be honest, I mean, I might like that. I didn't like the idea when I first heard about it, because I kind of like this game the way it is. But in Yet Another Zombie Defense, the previous game, it was kind of like a twin stick shooter like that. And I enjoyed that quite a bit, actually. I got pretty good at it, so maybe I would enjoy crossing that over to this game. Well, we've crossed our 20-minute barrier. Oh yeah, see, those dudes are catching up to me. So, well, we've at least crossed that 20-minute barrier. If we beat how far the Huntress got, I might go back and redo the Huntress video. Because I really thought the Huntress was going to do better than 22 minutes. But I guess you can see right here, like, if I didn't have health regen, and those dudes are just chipping my health down, I'd be pretty screwed. But the Huntress had the freezing arrows, which I think do a better job of freezing than the flask does. Maybe not. I don't know. And she only lasted about a minute longer than where we are right now, so we'll go over here, because this is the crate. You can tell because the survivor arrow is different. It's got the little, like, square on it, diamond thing. Well, we'll take our third burger. It's not what I thought I wanted, but it's not the worst thing. It's given us 15% faster fire rate, 15% faster movement speed. Alright, well, did I have stimpack active there? I was really getting away from those dudes. Yeah, well, it's definitely active now. Look at this. Oh my god. Alright. Some health pickups over here. Not that we really need them. Just keep that in mind, though. How about that next crate? How about something, you know, no more burgers. We got all 3 burgers, so maybe a med kit or a coffee cup, or I don't know, a slingshot. I feel like I just heard a sound effect I've never heard. It sounded like one of the zombies said something. I don't know, I have the sound turned down a little bit, because every time I make one of these videos, every time, I feel like I have the sound turned down, like the game sound. And then I upload the YouTube video, and it's, like, super loud. I don't know. Well, we've definitely eclipsed the Huntress. There's that med kit. Had a med kit and a slingshot there, but of course we want the med kit. Man, how much money are we getting just from doing those? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There we go. Look how important stimpack is. I think it's stimpack and transplantology at the same time. Yeah, look how important stimpack was right there. Literally, like, saved us. Health was just ticking down. I think we were down to like 1,000 maybe. And then boom, we just scurried away just like that. Just like that. So maybe we want some skill cooldown. Maybe we'll take some nuts and bolts if we can get it. Because that'll make the stimpack happen that much more often. I think the coffee cup would probably be better. But if nuts and bolts is what we get, think we could do worse. We should be getting another crate here pretty soon. Well, now I think we have a good chance of beating what we did with the engineer. Although I can't remember, to be honest, what we got with the engineer. I was trying to think it might have been 28 minutes. I didn't expect to end it. Oh boy, a lot of the survivors that I've started out with, the Huntress, engineer, not the medic, these are kind of ones I thought would not do as well as the others, you know, so I was just kind of getting them out of the way. Getting them out of the way, and also two, like, curious, like, will they surprise me? Are they better than I think? I'm just saying, yeah. Might as well, right? Not like I need money. Money's not gonna help me right now. What would help me is a freaking coffee cup. Although, didn't we get a med kit in the last one, so. Uh-oh. Oh, stone skin. That's the best pickup you can get. And the stimpack, beautiful. The stone skin, if you have good health regen, is basically, like, it just gives you full health. Because you're not taking damage while it's active for a few seconds. Can I get that stimpack back, maybe? Like, yep. Oh, I'm not even getting it away from them with the stimpack. That's not good. The end is nigh. Maybe if I'd have got a freaking coffee cup like I wanted. Toilet paper. I'm gonna take the skill cooldown, even though I'm about to die anyway. Ah. 25:44, almost 26 minutes. And, you know, here's the thing. I feel like I could have done better. You always feel like you could have done better in this game. That's why it's so addictive. Man. It's like you immediately want to do it again. Alright, well, we did better than I thought we would. Like I said, at like 3 minutes, I was like, oh boy, I don't know if we'll make 20 minutes. So we did better than the Huntress, almost 26 minutes. I think with practice, we could get probably all three of them close to, if not at 30 minutes. So we got pretty good pickups, though. We can't complain, right? I mean, we did get 3 med kits. We did get 3 of the coffee cups, 2 of the hearts. So it wasn't all bad. You know, only a couple stupid things we were forced to get. Anyway, I really appreciate anybody watching. We'll be back next time. I think we'll probably do SWAT next. That's one I've had in my mind of like how I'm going to do that. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing if you enjoyed this at all. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.